Week 6, to all my hand builders out there, to all my opto bros, today we win GPPs.
I suffer from a debilitating condition known as atrophic chokitis.
Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Trust the process. Let's go. Let's go.
I got auto matched with Levitan. This is bullshit.
If I just go the other way in that 6v6, I win all the money. All the money.
If I had 150 lineups, I'd win too.
Process over results.
Illuminati make a bitch go crazy. I don't know which one of these my baby. Bust out AP, cold spot bullets in your head like KD. Bust it, bitch go bust it. And I had 10 pints with me in Russia.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone, how we doing? Good morning. Good morning to Caleb. Good morning to Willis. GM to Mookie. GM to Mike. GM to Jeff. Best intro. Thank you, Terrell Davis. Loved you on the Broncos back in the day. GM. How we doing? Are we ready? Are we ready? That's right, Greg. We had to get the pour on stream. I am a budding Foley artist. How we feeling? How we feeling about this GPP slate? I actually have started to make more of my lineups than I normally have by this point, because if you heard me on shows earlier this week, I have to go to my nephew's christening, and it starts at 1 p.m. I will be in a car at 11:45, an hour and 15 before lock. I am tilting so hard, but we must press onward. This might actually be a little bit of an abbreviated cram today. I feel like I've been going about an hour, but I'm going to need to wrap up in probably about 40 minutes. So we're going to try to cover everything we can. If you guys have GPP questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We will run the sims. We'll see what's going on there. I feel like most of the injury situation has kind of cleaned up. I mean, we did get the report that Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to kill Kareem Hunt, which I think is hinting at him not getting every single touch. But I kind of was working under that assumption anyways. I figured Dearness Johnson would get a couple carries. Demetric Felton would get a couple catches. But I still feel pretty good about Kareem Hunt's workload. I was talking about this with the guys in the Run the Sims channel within the Deposit Kingdom Discord. You can get access to that as a Run the Sims subscriber or by joining the YouTube membership below as an OptoBro/hand builder. That'll give you access. But my thought on Kareem Hunt is, if Kareem Hunt was playing at 1 p.m., I think I would be probably fading him. At this ownership, just the tiniest of workload concerns. But because he's at 4 p.m., I want to build most of my lineups with Kareem Hunt already in them, knowing I have pivots I can do. And we've talked about this concept a lot on shows with Drewby. I think we were talking about it with Bime4. The late swap optionality that you have is so valuable, because you get to know whether Kareem Hunt is a good play for your lineup or not, with the benefit of having 75% of the slate already having played. So I think the pushback that I've gotten on this is that there aren't a ton of good late swap options at 4 p.m. because we only have 3 games. I kind of push back against that because I do think there are some nice options there. A very simple one that I really like is if you have Kareem Hunt in a running back slot and you have Rondell Moore in a wide receiver spot or the flex, you can do a pretty simple pivot that you pivot Hunt to Chase Edmonds, and you can pivot Rondell Moore to Odell Beckham. So that's a simple one. If you have Hunt in the flex at 6,200, you can pivot him to Cortland Sutton. You can pivot him to Josh Jacobs. So there's lots of options there. And if you have, full-on game stacks with the Cowboys, well, then you have the entire board to mess around with there. So I actually think it's a pretty good late swap slate. I think we're very fortunate that Kareem Hunt plays late, and I want to have that flexibility. If I am crushing early, I want to be able to let Kareem Hunt ride, because I do think he is still one of the best plays on the slate. I mean, the thing about him is when I'm looking at Leone has his ceiling projections over at ETR. I mean, he has Kareem Hunt as the highest running back ceiling by 4 points. That's a significant amount. So not only are you getting value, this isn't like a Devonta Booker situation, you're also getting access to the highest running back ceiling on the slate. I want to keep that door open for my lineups, and it's just the same old thing. If you're crushing early, you can eat the Kareem Hunt chalk. If you're behind or you're needing to ladder up, then you get off of him because, 40% of the field is going to have him. So to me, the Kareem Hunt stuff is actually a pretty easy decision. You leave yourself outs to play him, but you plan on pivoting off of him if you're not doing well. You're about to late swap at your nephew's Christian. See, here's the thing. It starts at 1, and then there's a little dinner or whatever, lunch after. I need to be back. You're actually right. You're right. I was trying to justify. I probably will be late swapping at a nice little brunch thing after, and then I'm going to rush home to do tilt space. So that is my Sunday. I'm absolutely tilting. As people who watch ship chasing know, I prefer to go to the sauna at 1 p.m. once lineups lock. I got a lot of shit for admitting that I go to the gym on Sundays. I do a little Stairmaster. I watch Red Zone on Sling, and then I go to the sauna, and I already have it on Sling. I already have it on my headphones, and there's 20 minutes where I listen to the audio version of Red Zone while I'm in the sauna. Okay, come at me. I don't care. I don't care. Let me live my life. Let me live my life. How are we doing? RSJ? I'm out on RSJ. I think that game is going to be incredibly popular. I think now that we've kind of removed some of the injury concerns with Terry McLaurin, with Tyreek Hill, I think everyone is ready to stack up this game. And I think the double tight end builds with Travis Kelce and RSJ are just too obvious. They're popping up in optimal lineups. You get the correlation bump because of the game. I think everyone is going to want to have lineups with Kelce and RSJ in them. Here's my gal brain. If you want to play that stack, play Adam Humphries instead of Ricky Seals-Jones. It's so gross, but I really don't think their projection and price is that different, and there's going to be a massive ownership disparity. So I think RSJ's fine. He's playing, 90% of the Logan Thomas role. It's a nice role. It's a nice game. But what are the things we generally try to avoid? We want to avoid chalk tight ends, chalk defenses, and chalk punt wide receivers, because there's so much variance in scoring for those specific positions. So I'm not eating chalk tight end plays this week, unless you want to play Kelce. Because Kelce is so grossly mispriced, I think you just have to be very creative around it. Play Antonio Gibson or Adam Humphries as your bring back instead of McLaurin or RSJ, because I think that's just going to be a really chalky construction. I will say, though, this week, there's some weeks like last week where there's so many obvious leverage spots and there's so many kind of ways to build contrarian without sacrificing a ton of projected points. You basically have to eat some chalk this week, unless you're willing to just go total gal brain and sacrifice, 40 projected points, which I don't think we want to be doing. We talked about that with Brian Hooper on Friday as well. Like there's a limit to how many projected points you can sacrifice to be contrarian. This week, you got to eat some chalk, whether that's the Hunt chalk, whether, I like the Dallas double stacks. Like I'm willing to eat a little chalk there on a guy like CeeDee Lamb. I don't want to be in the mega chalk territory, but, these guys like DJ Moore, CeeDee Lamb, Robert Woods, like it's just too hard to build a full on sub 10% lineup this week. All right, let's see here. Oh, wow. We are back. Oh my good. Holka. Did Holka just raid the stream? Thank you, Holka, for sending your people over. What is up, Hodge? Hodge in the NFT streets these days. Hodge, I hope you bought a Penelope's Country Club NFT. We told you to buy one, and then it started to moon. My goodness. Joe Holka's crew is the Lazy Lions. What's up, Joe? How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? I can't keep up with the chat. You guys are crazy. Look at this. Holka comes and his minions come bearing gifts. Thank you. You guys are wild. You guys are wild. Hey, are you going to comment on the We Are Back? Yeah, bud, we're fucking back. We're back in a big way. Geez, Shay. Hope you got your mom on speed dial for when I beat you in the spies and you need a shoulder to cry on. Love you long time. Shay, please don't ever bring up my mom on this show ever again. There's a lot of lines we're willing to cross on this show, but my mom is not one of them. You come at me again with that bullshit, Shay, I'll fuck you up. Kyle, a $5 tip to answer the question, is 100% exposure to Josh Gordon the play this week, brother? I am not on Josh Gordon, but I understand the thesis of the play. The reason I think it's unnecessary is because I'm still seeing Mecole Hardman's ownership at sub 10%. I think that probably gets steamed a little bit in small field. I mean, the stacks with when you go Mahomes, Kelsey, Hardman, it's just such a clean double stack that I could see Hardman getting up to 15 or 16%. I don't know. I think Josh Gordon, that's probably more of a large field play. I don't think you need to be doing that in your double spies where me and Shay are battling to the death. Let's see here. Yeah, 40% Hardman. That's my worry. That's my worry is he's getting steamed hard. If I did my weekly tweet of the sneaky GPP play who is no longer sneaky, it's probably Mecole Hardman. I mean, when you look at just the value plays sub 5,000 this week on DraftKings, like the only guys who are standing out to me as like solid values, Mecole Hardman at 4,200 and Van Jefferson at 3,400. I guess you could toss in a Darnell Mooney. You can toss in a Monroe St. Brown, but it is very thin down there this week. And because everyone loves that game, I do think Mecole Hardman will be popular. Okay, yeah. If you guys just shower me with money, I will answer your questions. We found the new meta. You want your answer question? $1 bills, y'all. But you said $5 to tell me you're pivoting off of Gordon onto Felton. I mean, what? Demetric Felton's going to catch 3 to 4 balls? I don't know. I don't think you have to bother with Demetric Felton in DFS today, though. I mean, if you want to play a running back who's going to get a ton of touches that no one is going to play anymore, play Devonta Booker, right? Like, is anyone going to play Devonta Booker? I mean, if you're going cheap, people want to play Khalil Herbert. They want to play Darrell Williams. And then we have such good chalk in the mid sixes with Darrell Henderson, with Jonathan Taylor, with DeAndre Swift. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to play Devonta Booker. So yeah, I don't think you need to really mess around with the Demetric Feltons. Let's see here. Thoughts on a mini stack with DJ Moore and Adam Thielen? Yeah, that was one DJ Moore's an interesting one to me because the GPP bros are starting to talk about Robbie Anderson. I think, did Leone flag plant him on Establish the Million yesterday? Or actually, no, Dink flag planted DJ Moore. But the thing that's interesting to me about DJ Moore is I think on another week, he'd probably be approaching 20% ownership here again, but people are comfortable with Tyreek Hill and Terry McLaurin now. Cooper Kupp is underpriced at 7,900. CeeDee Lamb looks good. I just wonder if DJ Moore stays in check because people like the price discount on Robbie Anderson. He was in the air yards by low model. This game isn't setting up as like a very popular game stack. So I am interested in DJ Moore. He's just harder to fit. But I like that correlation. I think it's fine. I mean, you want to talk, it's just, I mean, the Adam Thielen stuff is always hard for me to get excited about, but no one's going to play him. And he's 5,800. No one's going to play Justin Jefferson either, but he costs, 2,000 plus more. So I don't mind that mini stack. I have a Dalvin Cook, Robbie Anderson mini stack right now, but I think that's fine. Joey asks, is there any key news we are waiting on? I'm interested to see some of the pregame reports on Mike Williams. They say he is going to play, but he was dealing with knee swelling, had all the DMPs. So I'm kind of curious about him. Hodge asking me about NFT questions. There's no such thing as too many Penelope Country Club NFTs. Get the purrs, bet on Carlini. Hop in the Discord if you have questions about Penelope's. There's like 100 people who will answer your Penelope's questions in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. Pete, I will send my first super chat once I can stop depositing. Yeah, it's okay. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Joe Holka. I am Joe. You and Leone are going to have to take the wheel on our Tilt Space lineups today because I'm going to be driving to a christening. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be disoriented. Maybe, Joe, maybe I'll do what you did last week and just get absolutely hammered at the christening and then show up to Tilt Space blacked out. Shout out to Joe Holka for his performance on last week's Tilt Space. All right, buzzer beater. That's uncalled for. That's almost uncalled for to the point of bringing up my mom. Visca with a huge drop. I can't even do this. I can't even do this. Did Chenault just drop the ball twice? That's what my Twitter feed says. Chenault times 2. Laviska Chenault. We need Rondell Moore to go off today because he is what we wanted Laviska Chenault to be. Here we go. Here's the fun questions. Pete, who is the Galaxy Brain play today in a big field GPP? So I don't know if this qualifies as Galaxy Brain because he'll probably get, 7 to 10% ownership. But I really like Kadarius Tony. I really like Kadarius Tony this week. I think his projection is getting dinged with Sterling Shepard coming back, which I get. But they used him both in the slot. They used him outside. He already flashed explosive yards after the catch ability. I like this game against the Rams. I have a Stafford double stack with a Tony bring back. I'm going to do a Tony mini correlation, I think, with either Higbee or Woods. I really like Kadarius Tony. To me, this just has the feeling of like you can't put the genie back in the bottle once this really talented player breaks out. I think that we're kind of discounting him because his price went up so much, because Sterling Shepard is returning. But without Kenny Golladay, I still think there's a ton of room for him to see 10 plus targets today. So if I had a flag plant, and I don't want to get sued by the establish the run guys, but if Pete were to flag plant today, it's Kadarius Tony. My God, Eric Z. Look at this. I pump your purrs. Eric Z has his entire net worth in Penelope Country Club NFTs. And he sends me a $69 tip. Fleur, how much does Fleur cost for NFT shills? He costs what? A couple of ETH? I'm cheap. I'm $69.42. And I start talking about your NFTs. But don't even try that with the Lazy Lions. The Lazy Lions, it's going to cost you more than $69 to pump it. I honestly feel like this christening is better than this sauna routine. Get out of here, Anthony. The sauna routine is undefeated. Okay. Do you want me to send you some articles, some scientific studies about how important sauna use is to longevity? Where are my Swedes at? Where's my Finns at? Okay. They'll tell you. I'm always really upset, PayPal. This stuff gets me real hot and bothered. Pete's getting hammered with communion wine in remembrance of my lineups. Yeah, I mean, it's like, remember when the league came out and they just had, the cliche stuff of guys who are super into their fantasy teams during real life events? Like, that's legitimately going to be me. I'm going to be at this church wondering how my lineups are doing. Pete, what will be a more religious experience, the christening or sweating his min cash? That is rude, Christopher. That's a rude characterization. I don't min cash, all right? I either get top 10, which we call a bank around here, or I get last, all right? I don't min cash, except in the double spy because it's such a large field or small field that sometimes I do sneak in a min cash. People are worried about the Q next to Tony's name. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, be very worried about that Q next to his name. Any preference on Lamb versus Cooper? This one is close. I slightly prefer CeeDee Lamb. Even though he's 500 more, he does have a slightly higher ceiling projection. I think the ownership is going to be equal. We should pull up the Sims, but Lamb was showing up in the Sims more than Amari as well. I think they're both good plays, but I do slightly prefer Amari. All right, let's share this. Let's check out what's going on with our Sims today. see if anything is jumping out to us. Great energy in here today, guys. Great energy, not weird energy. Great energy in here today. Let's run the Sims. Someone asked Hollywood Brown or Cooks, although I can't find the question. This is moving too fast. Hollywood Brown or Cooks. I don't have any Marquise Brown, basically because I'm not really playing much of that game. But if I were playing Raven stacks, I would want to play it through Marquise Brown. I do have a Brandon Cooks, Jonathan Taylor mini right now. I do like that one. So, just checking in on some of the Sims. Obviously, the Sims love Travis Kelce. I think one of the more surprising ones to me is how much DeAndre Swift is showing up in here. And this ownership projection is wrong. DeAndre Swift will not be 28% owned. I think he'll be more in the 15 to 16% range. And in that case, he is still showing up as a good play in that he's appearing in these Sims 23% of the time. As far as other surprises up there you go. There's your Marquise Brown. Looks like a nice play. Kareem Hunt, now only showing up in 14.6%. He was showing up in far more yesterday. I wonder if Justin dinged his projection a little bit with that report. That's kind of interesting to me. Darrell Williams showing up here is also interesting to me. I think he's actually probably the best leverage play in that game on the KC side, right? Because Hardman, Hill, Kelce, Mahomes, they're all going to be played at a good clip. If you're able to kind of get that game to implode or Darrell Williams steals a couple rushing touchdowns, that's probably the leverage play. So that is interesting to me. And yes, as Corey points out, this Kelce ownership is not going to be right too. He's going to be, I think in large field, he's going to be like 20 to 23%. And in small field, Kelce's probably going to be about 30%. Game theory question. Are mini correlations getting too much love? People forcing things like JT Cooks. Is that real? Yes, it's very real. I think if anything, the bringbacks, like a double stack and a bringback, the bringbacks are probably more forced, but I think the mini correlations are solid, and it just continues the thesis of getting less things right. I mean, the thing that I really like to do is I like to compare the ceiling and the ownership of some of these mini correlations together and looking at the price. So like, here's a really good example for one that you could say. So the Jonathan Taylor and Brandon Cooks, that adds up to $12,400 salary. I'm seeing it as 49 combined ceiling and a 30 combined ownership. Dalvin Cook and Robbie Anderson only cost 100 more combined, 12,500. You're getting 45 ceiling, so you're sacrificing 4 ceiling points, but only adds up to 14 ownership percentage points. So half the ownership of that other mini. So I like looking at the minis I like and then comparing them to other similarly priced mini stacks. But I do think in general that we want to continue focusing on that correlation for the hand building stuff. I mean, I do think it is as simple as we don't have a ton of games with huge over-unders this week. I believe we only have 3 with games over 50. KC, Washington going to be very popular. LAC, Baltimore going to be very popular. Dallas, New England. So on those weeks where we don't have a ton of shootouts and we don't have a ton of value, I think we want to lean into the correlation and try to identify that game that goes, 10 points over the under. And so if the Texans are able to keep it more or closer than Vegas projects, then all of a sudden, maybe that game goes over. Cooks and Taylor trading blows there as the lead, usage on their team. So yeah, I'm pro mini. Herbert, Justin Herbert or Khalil Herbert? Yeah, I think Khalil Herbert is going to be popular. I'm seeing him at about 20% ownership. I think the cash game bros have a tough decision if they want to play Henderson and Hunt, or maybe they're going to play 3 running backs. I don't even know why I just tried to get inside the mind of a cash game bro. It's not something I want to do on a Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Any logic in a Darrell Williams McKissick mini stack? I'd prefer to use one or the other. Like I would prefer to use Darrell Williams with, Terry McLaurin as a mini, or McKissick with Mecole Hardman, right? Because like you think about the game scripts where McKissick is used a lot, the Chiefs passing game is probably doing pretty well, or the games scripts where Darrell Williams is playing pretty well. I just don't want to use the two running backs. I think there's so much value at running back this week that if you're using two pump play running backs in the same lineup in the same game, I don't think it's bad. I just don't love it this week. I really want to get up into that 6K tier. I think Swift, Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, I think all those guys are pretty good plays. And I don't want to have two running back spots on guys with what I think are cap ceilings. All right. The Cash Game Bros have logged in. Davis will release his Cash Game lineup for you. Someone sent me a head-to-head this week, so I think I did build a Cash Game lineup. Here's the Cash Game lineup I built. This is going against everything I just said, which is not talking about cash games. I think I'm not even doing this. I'm not listing off my Cash Game lineup for $1 head-to-head. I'm not doing it. Okay. What else did we want to look at here? I did want to just check in real quick on my Owners Club lineups. I did already make these this morning because I'm busy. I got I'm excited about my Bills stack here with Derrick Henry in it. I did go shopping because I had Cowboys QB, but not Cowboys wide receiver. And I had Chargers wide receiver, but not QB. So I had to close the loop on those. I completed those stacks as well. I'm not putting my Kansas City card in this Bills Tennessee one because I just assume that would be way too chalky, that everyone is going to use their KC in this for kind of the nut construction. So I went down to Raiders there. Otherwise, just sticking with my usual strategy here of getting stacks, ideally bringbacks when possible. But like in this one, I do have Ravens tight end in my Chargers bringback. I didn't use a Giants bringback in this Dallas one. Seemed like I might be forcing it a little bit. Got some side hustle going on as well. The lowball contest is very fun. How's my Chargers lowball looking or Jags lowball looking today? I think it's probably looking pretty good, right? Has Visca done anything yet? I guess this is how I get even on Visca, is playing the Jags in lowball. Little Seattle lowball tonight with Geno Smith. Island of Misfit cards. But yeah, I'm having fun with the Owners Club. I find myself going shopping on Saturdays when I'm trying to complete some of these stacks. Stuff is still pretty cheap here if you're trying to complete stuff. Wait, someone said Marvin Jones, someone said Visca. Who scored? So you guys can't both say Marvin Jones and then Visca TD at the same time. Who scored? You guys are sick. I can't believe you guys do this to me. The Twitter says Marvin Jones. Who said Visca? Get out of here. I mushed it. The second I got excited about my lowball Jags, they score a TD. King Mush over here. Kevin, you messed up. You can't joke about LaVisca TDs around here, okay? Some of us are on pins and needles waiting for those. Should we do a quick underdog draft? I did get a pick'em in today. I don't know if the line has moved on that or not, but I did like the where is it? I did like this Mecole Hardman and Mike Williams. Mecole Hardman over 36.5. Mike Williams under 72.5. I'm worried about the Mike Williams knee swelling stuff. I was reading Gene Bramall over at Football Guys, their doctor. He thinks he might be limited. Why isn't that working? But yeah, here's the play here. I'll post the link if you guys want to tail me on Underdog. You can do that. You have to make lowball permanent. What fun that was. Yeah, there's two versions of lowball. There's the Owners Club lowball contest, and then with Smiz on Friday on Splash Play, we did a lowball cage match where we tried to draft the worst possible lineup. Yes, I agree that Keenan Allen is such a smash today. The thing too, like I wish I could gal brain a Mike Williams GPP play, but he's 8,100. He's so expensive. And then you toss in the injury concerns, not practicing at all this week. Like if I want to make that play, I think I'll just play Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's 8K going to be similarly overlooked just because of all the good values at wide receiver this week. And I think just has a much higher ceiling with no injury this week. So yeah, give me Justin Jefferson if you're wanting to make that kind of high-priced GPP play. Let's do a quick battle royale. Whoever wants to jump in and battle with me. We'll see. What are we looking at here in the default rankings? No Derrick Henry this week on the main slate, or he's playing Monday. We got Travis Kelce here. Let's see what we can do. Any Bateman love? Yeah. I really wanted to play Bateman. I don't know. I think you should probably just play Duvernay if you want to do that. But I don't mind the thesis. I'm excited about Rashad Bateman. I think he's going to finish the season strong. I don't know if his first game back in this spot is really where he's going to be racking up enough targets. I just don't know what his ceiling is there, but who knows? We saw Kadarius Tony come out of nowhere and ball out. I would certainly not be surprised if Rashad Bateman does it, but yeah, he hasn't really been on my radar, but I don't mind it. Yeah, I agree with this take by Casey. Bateman was only activated because he hit the 21-day window. He's likely not to be 100%. So yeah, a little risky there. I cannot do T.Y. Hilton love. I cannot do T.Y. Hilton love. I mean, if you want to play a non-chalky Colts wide receiver, play Zach Pascal, who I learned on Friday is plus 220 to score a touchdown at any point during the game. Travis Kelce going 1. Patrick Mahomes going 2. Let's play Devontae Adams. Wow, you guys love Demetric Felton. I don't think you need to play Demetric Felton this week. Play Booker. Play Darrell Williams. I think Felton is getting too cute. I don't think you need to do it. I'd even rather play Javonte Williams. Play Josh Jacobs. I think you want ceiling from your running back slots. The field is going to have so much ceiling in their running back slots that I think you're giving up too much. If you're going to make that kind of low ceiling play, I think you do it at tight end, wide receiver 3. I think it's too cute. I'm out on Felton for DraftKings. I like Darnell Mooney. I don't think he'll make my single entry 3 max builds, but I did build a Millie Maker lineup with Justin Fields and Mooney and Devontae Adams coming back. I think it sets up well for them. The Packers, where actually, let me make a pick here. Do we have any tight ends we still need? Let's go Justin Jefferson. Yeah, Mixon looks good to me. I like Mixon. I like Dalvin Cook. I like Swift. I like Jonathan Taylor. I'm kind of been cycling through those guys with Hunt in my lineup, and then also just being ready to pivot if I need to. All right. Will they let me get the DJ Moore correlation here with Justin Jefferson? Please, Tyson Dad. Please let me draft DJ Moore. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to let me draft DJ Moore. All right, let's get DJ Moore. And now we don't get to draft. What do we need? A quarterback, running back, and tight end. Chris Moore and DeAndre Carter too thin. Unlocks everything salary-wise. I already gave my DeAndre Carter play, and his name is Adam Humphries. Chris Moore hasn't been on my radar, but I do like Adam Humphries if I'm playing a punt wide receiver from Washington. Yep. This is one of my lineups. Dak double with Cooper and Schultz. I'm going Schultz with Lamb. I think both are viable. I think both the Cowboys wide receivers are cheap enough that you can premium double with Cooper and Lamb if you want to bring it back with, say, Hunter Henry instead. The decision I've been having is if I want to play Jacoby or Nelson Aguilar. You save a decent amount of money with Aguilar. Aguilar was in the buy low model this week, which is kind of interesting to me. Let's see here for running back. How are we looking? Tight end. Andrews might be nice for tight end here. Kind of a big drop off after Andrews. Hoagie's going to take Andrews. I know it. Just take Andrews. Do it, Hoagie. Do it. He did. I told him to do it and he did it. Let's take Jonathan Taylor. Is this a new thing now? You guys say I look like I've gotten Ryan. I don't even know what Adam Humphries looks like. You guys say I look like Adam Humphries? I don't look like Adam Humphries. Tell me, do I look like Adam Humphries? I don't think I look like Adam Humphries. I can't with you guys. All right, let me go back here. We are done at running. So our quarterback options here. I can go Rodgers. Probably going to go Rodgers. But no one's going to take him. I guess I could also go Darnold if I want. I don't want to go Cousins. Let's do Rodgers here, and then we'll figure out what we want to do at tight end. Thank you. I look like a Chad. The thing about Chad is the connotations of it are all over the place. Sometimes I see it used in a positive correlation, and sometimes I see it used connotation, and sometimes I see it used in a negative connotation. So I have no idea what that means, Swell. But you look like a chill surfer, brah. So I'm going to trust that you're paying me a Chad compliment here. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we got to the bottom of who I look like more, and it is Ryan Tannehill. Let's not do the thought experiment of what Ryan Tannehill and Adam Humphries would have a baby. They did make beautiful music together on the Titans. I mean, talk about a quarterback wide receiver connection. I do appreciate that. I'm not a Karen here. Okay, I'm on the clock. I'm about to miss my pick. Let's go Hawkinson. I still think he has a nice ceiling here. There's my underdog team. Rodgers to Adams. We play Taylor, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore. I think starting out with 3 wide receivers is probably slightly unique in here, but I don't have I guess Rodgers is kind of my outside of the top 60 ADP unique play to keep this lineup relatively unique. So there's that. Guys, I do have to shut this down early today. I need to go shower and put on my Sunday best for a christening, which I am going to. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Good luck today with all of your DFS lineups. We'll be back at 6 p.m. for the Tilt Space. Thank you again for all the super chats. That was very nice of you guys to do that. Thank you to Joe Holka and Ryan Hodge for rating the stream. I will see you guys at 6. Good luck today.